With the U.S. General 30-inch 5-drawer service cart unboxing and assembly from Harbor Freight Tools. This toolbox I picked up for $199.99. Retail was $289.99, so I got a pretty good deal. First impressions, as you can see, I'm unpackaging the box and had some pretty nice packaging in my opinion. The straps holding the box together were nice and heavy duty. The box itself basically opened pretty easily. You can see here I've got my setup on the side yard of my house. It is outdoors and I do have a shade structure, but it was hot that day. So I've got my sun hoodie and my hat on, trying to keep some of the sun off. I'm here taking the parts out of the box. They shipped everything inside the drawers and whatnot. Um, it kept everything nice and compact and safe. The box itself with the drawers was pretty heavy. This is me just trying to get it out of the base and get it onto a moving blanket so that I can have somewhere safe for it to sit while I work on this assembly. First step was to put the wheels on the base. Two swivel caster wheels, locking swivel caster wheels. They've got two standard wheels. They've also got a bunch of hardware they shipped out in a bubble pack. Taking all that out and setting it on my workbench so that I have an easily accessible spot to be able to grab those nuts and bolts as I put everything together and assemble it. A little bit tricky trying to do this myself. Would be probably a lot faster and easier if you did have another pair of hands helping you, but obviously you got to reference the instructions. That's critical. I've been doing assembly a lot. Actually, my first, not my first full-time job, but I would say, my first grown-up job was actually working at a power equipment shop. I was still, I don't know, late teens, and they had me doing assembly. I was putting together all the power equipment, so I learned a lot. That's actually where I got this little rolly cart, this little rolly seat cart. Has a little tray on the bottom if you need to store things, parts and tools and such. Pretty comfy, easy to get around. Here I'm putting the vertical supports on and unwrapping the horizontal supports. So far, nothing too tedious, not really, nothing impossible to do by myself so far. The tools I used were 13 millimeter box wrench, 13 millimeter ratcheting box wrench, 12 millimeter box wrench, number 2 Phillips screwdriver. I had my uh, impact drill, socket adapter, swivel socket adapter, long socket extension, and that was it. One other part that I forgot to show on the video was the lid lift handle, which again just installed with 2 tiny little Phillips screws. But yeah, let me know what you think. As I took it out of the bubble wrap, I noticed there was slight defect in the manufacturing of the sheet metal. I'll bring it up close to the camera so you can see. Basically, on that top left portion of the accessory box, you can see it's got a little bend in it. Again, just a slight, tiny little wave, not a big deal. I mean, it's very minimal. It didn't seem to bother me much, but I just thought I'd show you all for reference. Here, again, another set of hands would have been helpful, but propping it up on my knee, trying to make sure it doesn't fall and get damaged while I'm assembling, which is pretty difficult. I think if you can assemble anything without dropping, scratching, dinging, anything during the entire process, you probably reach pro status on your assembly skills. I got pretty close on this one. I think my main problem was that I installed one part wrong, which I'll show you later when that comes along. Now, before I show you this next part, where I'm installing the lid lift gas shocks, I am using a 12 millimeter box wrench to hold the gas shock on one part and using my impact drill to put the nut on the other part of the gas shock. And when I hit the trigger on the impact drill, it flips the 12 millimeter up and smacks against the lid of the card and startles me pretty good. Luckily, no damage, but yeah, that was fun. This is actually one part, the only part of the whole build where I needed a second set of hands to be able to lift that drawer box up on top of the cart. You can see me here getting these horizontal brackets installed. This is actually where the drawer box sits on. Overlaps a little bit strangely in the corners, so I was just having to maneuver some things around, trying to make sure that I got the right positioning so that I can get my bolts in. All the bolts actually are kind of easy to work with. They're carriage bolts, which again, quote unquote easy. Uh, depends on how you look at it, but if you hold it tight with one hand, you can just get the nut on the other end and tighten it up. So this is actually the gas shocks that I'm installing for the lid, which is really nice feature. Lockable lid to be able to lock up all your tools that are sitting on the top, but also when the lid is closed, the drawers are locked. So it makes it pretty secure if you end up having to use this while you're working at a shop, and you don't want to have to worry about your tools being out in the open and people having access to them. I did actually install these gas shocks upside down, I think based on the picture in the instructions and whatnot, but it didn't seem to affect the functionality or performance or anything, in my opinion. So I realized that later after I got them installed, and didn't seem, like I said, didn't seem to bother me. So I just left them how they were. Yeah, it was hot, like I said. Got to stay hydrated. Got my cold beverage, taking a quick swig. These are kind of neat actually too. Here I'm putting in these corner brackets, which are some additional support on the inside of the top of the drawer box portion. Unwrapping the handle. Okay, this is where I made my mistake. I put the handle mounted to the top of the two bolts. It is supposed to be at the bottom of those two bolts. If you do it wrong like me, your lid will not close properly. So make sure you put your handle on the bottom of the two bolts. I did go ahead and fix that handle off camera. So I moved it to the bottom so the lid would close properly. So anyway, I went around, got all my nuts and bolts secured, and here's me pulling off the last bit of packaging. You know, that I wish maybe I would have taken some ASMR video. That's always a nice, fun sound. Here's the lid operation. Just showing you all the drawers opening. Again, they got those slide locks underneath the handles. Be able to keep those secure while you're moving it around. Plenty of storage at the bottom there. You got your can holder or your accessory tray. Again, locking swivel casters on the one side. Super convenient to be able to move your tools and parts around. I hope this video was helpful when you go to buy your US General 30-inch 5-drawer tool cart from Harbor Freight Tools. Like, follow, and subscribe for more.